So ladies, thank you so much for joining us this evening for the very first Fortified After 7. We're going to be asking a lot of interesting questions that you may never have been asked before from your unique perspective of being 40 plus. So let's give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, and we're going to start with the first question of the night being, what is the scariest thing about maturing or aging? And if I can get a volunteer as to who might want to start answering that question. I could start.
So my concern is I don't know when I will be able to retire and how I'm going to do this retirement thing. So, you know, I had a meeting with a financial advisor. The news wasn't great. I won't be retiring at 65. So yeah, that's my biggest concern is retiring. I don't know how I'm going to do that. You know, luckily I'm still married and the prayer is that I
Remain married.
Yes, now I really have to keep him around.
Right.
Or kill him. I have a really good life insurance policy. So it's one or the other. So keep him around or bump him off. But you know, I'm not going to be able to do it on my own. So that's been weighing on me.
That's my big concern, is that sometimes we take it for granted that we're going to have longevity.
Yes.
And for me, it's health. How will my health be in my elder years? You know, will I be able to sustain myself by myself at home? Will I be able to even afford assisted living? You know, it's personal for me. I lost a mom a few years ago at age 68, and so it makes me think about life in a different way and whether or not I would even have that longevity. Unfortunately, for a lot of us in the African American community, we're dealing with, you know, diabetes, hypertension, and all of that. So my focus really of late has been how to shift myself into optimum health so I can live long and live strong.
Just like the ladies here, my biggest fear from the day I bought my house was, how am I going to pay off this mortgage, retirement. My mother just recently got out the hospital, 5 months, you know, my brother has cancer, all these same things that you're all dealing with. But my biggest fear is, am I going to lose my house? What if I lose my job? You know, what's the plan for the future? So one of the things first and foremost, health. You have to take care of your health. So I've made actually I should put down this wine. But now that I've seen the healthcare system that we have in this country, and you got to take matters into your own hand. So I'm on it from this day forward. Like, I'm changing my entire life so I can be around. And I'm doing this for my mother too, because she's used to the old school and the eating just the salt. No, we're stopping all that. We're not, you know, so we're going to get healthy. But I met with my financial advisor, and we came up with a plan on how we're going to start building the wealth, as well as, you know, things that people don't know. Like, at our age, we can start putting money into a Roth.
Yep. Yes.
But
Yes.
when he said that to me, I'm like, a what?
Right.
In 2007, the year when we had the crash, was the year I bought my house. And, I mean, it was make a decision, do I buy, do I not? And I went for it. And, you know, you lost money, but I didn't panic because I work in a financial environment, and you can't just pull everything out. The market changes, and whatever I lost, I've already recouped it. But I continue to max out. Like, we're spending, a lot of people today, we just spend. I don't do that anymore. Yeah, I could want a new pair of shoes every week. I don't do that anymore. I manage what I have, and I'm good with that. But I max out my 401k. I have a separate investment on the side. Like, I'm continuing, and then I pay them a little extra every month on my mortgage.
Good girl. Yeah.
I'm doing it all,
That's right.
and I don't need the red bottom shoes.
Right.
If you want to buy me a pair, I'll take it. I'm not buying it.
Right.
I'm thinking just smart for the future.
Right.
You know, and I'm doing the health thing, I'm doing the financial thing, and just trying to complete the whole picture. And I do have that fear because I'm not married. My boyfriend, wonderful guy, we've been together 8 years, and we're like a married couple, but there is that fear, well, I'm really by myself, and I gotta I prepare my life as if he's not around, because you never know. But we're a solid, couple, but as a single person, I treat my whole finances like as if I'm by myself, so.
Right. So mine is sort of health related. My family does not necessarily have the cancer clusters, et cetera, although my grandmother did have breast cancer and a recurrence of breast cancer right before she passed away. But what kind of weighs on my mind literally every single day as I get older is Alzheimer's, which is very prevalent in my family. My grandmother and all of her siblings, with the exception of one, had Alzheimer's and to Alzheimer's dementia. Wow. And so now when I can't remember people's names, I go into a panic. And it sounds maybe silly and trite, but at 46, and I will claim it because praise God, I'm still here. At 46, thinking that at 56, I could potentially not remember things. And I remember when my grandmother started with the Alzheimer's and the keys in the freezer, and I was a teenager, and I just thought it was funny. Because this was before I became a physician, so I had no idea how Alzheimer's presented. And I'm thinking, why are you putting your keys in the freezer, old lady? I mean, I know we West Indian, but we don't do crazy stuff like that. But now I see, all of the fact that she would hide money places, which is not necessarily a symptom of Alzheimer's, but just a little, because she forgot. It really was because she forgot. I thought she was being smart, and I do that now. I leave money in jackets and purses, and I'm just like, wow. I didn't know at the time. You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So for me, it's the same thing. I'm not going to be able to retire young. I don't have a financial planner. I don't have a financial plan. I'm not where I thought I was going to be at this time in terms of my career. So what's added to my stress is if I get to 65 and I'm beginning to forget. And I have to, and I'm afraid for my daughter as well, because if this is on my side of the family, his side of the family has the diabetes and all, and she's already having some issues with that at 11 years old. So, the health concerns come into it, but I need to be mentally present and aware. And I'm a controlling type of person, so not being able to stop laughing. Don't act like none of y'all. I'm fully present in my control. But yeah, so for me to not be able to manage my day to day, and Alzheimer's it's a disease that sneaks up on you. But it's a terrifying and terrible disease, especially at the end. It's horrible. So I have that concern, which is just, every single day when I can't remember things, I go into a sheer panic because I'm thinking, and it's early onset because I'm in my 40s. Yeah, sheer panic.
I understand. My grandmother, I think she has dementia as well. I'm not sure. We're not sure. We haven't done the testing for anything, but I see the signs of things. So now when I go into these panics of like, I forget things, and I'm saying to myself, oh my God, this is going to be my life. What's going to go? This is going to be me.
Exactly.
So,
words. I'm losing vocabulary. I see it
vocabulary.
now.
Yeah, I catch myself. I'm like, you know what? Lumosity.com. Here we go. So I do those things.
Diagnosed, and it wasn't an Alzheimer's type, it was like a vascular, it was like, it was abrupt. And I feel like I lost my mom, the person she was. Of course. And it's really hard because she's still around, and
but she's not the same.
she's not the same. She knows
Totally understand.
She knows
That's
she's not
okay.
the same, and
that's the hard part.
I'm showing her pictures, and of course she knows me, she knows my kids, but she's not the person she used to be.
I understand.
And to still be here and to not be the same person is really hard. Really hard.
That's almost the hardest part.
It's hard.
Because at the end, my mother and I look similarly, and my daughter apparently is the triplet in this group with my mother and I. my grandmother didn't know who I was. She thought I was my mother. So she kept trying to remind me of things that happened in Jamaica. And I left Jamaica when I was 2. I have no memory of the place. And none of these, and I was trying to work with her. I don't think that was me though. I'm pretty sure that at 2, right? I'm pretty sure I wasn't going out with such and such a son. So it even took me a while to realize that it wasn't me at all. The conversation we were having, she was having, wasn't me. And every single time I had to reintroduce myself, and I had to tell.
Wow.
And you know, and it's hard because you don't want. They know, they feel it. It's a stressor on them, obviously.
Yes.
But to have a conversation, you need to reintroduce yourself. You need to remind them who you are.
Yeah.
And you're starting all over from scratch again, and it's like the same old. It's like pulling the scab off and starting to bleed again. You're right back where you were, and you have to spend that time to kind of recoup some of the memories, which she had absolutely no memory of me. The woman who brought me here, put me through school, had no memory of my life at all. Hard. It was very, very hard. It was very, very hard.